Once upon a time, during the time of Moses, a young man came to him and said, "O prophet of God, for years I have wished to learn the language of animals. I ask you to teach me their language. I believe that by learning it, I can strengthen my faith and attain perfection, for the voices of humans are all just about obtaining food and water. Perhaps the language of animals will bring me closer to God." Moses replied, "What a foolish desire this is. Abandon this wish, for it is dangerous for you." However, the young man persisted, pleading, "I beg you, by the God you worship, fulfill my wish." Moses prayed to God, saying, "O God, this naive young man has been misled by Satan. If I teach him the language of animals, it will be to his detriment. He cannot bear it. Yet if I do not teach him, his heart will turn away from us." Revelation came. "O Moses, grant his request, for we never reject the prayer of anyone from our generosity." Finally, Moses taught him only the language of the rooster and the dog. The young man was very pleased to learn the language of these two creatures. On the first day, his servant brought him breakfast and scattered some breadcrumbs in the yard. The dog and the rooster rushed forward. The rooster picked up a large piece of bread with its beak. The dog protested, "O rooster, you always oppress us. You can eat grains of wheat and barley, but I cannot. Will you not even spare us a little of this food that is meant for dogs?" The rooster replied, "Dear friend, do not be upset. Tomorrow our master's horse will die. The death of the horse will be a feast for you dogs. You will eat to your heart's content from its carcass." Upon hearing this, the young man immediately went to the market and sold his horse. On the second day, as he was having breakfast again, he heard the dog say to the rooster, "You liar! Didn't you say that our master's horse would die? Why hasn't it?" The rooster replied, "Oh, it did die, but somewhere else, for just yesterday our master sold it. But dear friend, do not be upset. Tomorrow our master's mule will die, and you will feast on it for several days." Hearing this, the young man sold the mule as well. On the third day, he again listened to the dog and the rooster. The dog said, "You deceitful liar! For days now, you have been deceiving me with baseless promises. Didn't you say the mule would die? What happened?" The rooster replied, "What can I do? This is your misfortune. I did not lie, the mule died, but the loss fell on the buyer, as he sold the mule just yesterday. But do not worry, tomorrow our master's servant will die. The master and his relatives will give alms, and you will receive plenty of bread." Upon hearing this, the young man sold his servant too. On the fourth day, the young man was very happy, thinking, "What great success I have achieved. Since I learned the language of animals, I have avoided many losses and kept calamities away." While he was deep in thought, he suddenly heard the loud voices of the dog and the rooster. The dog was barking angrily, saying, "Get away from me, rooster. I do not want to see a liar like you." The rooster, feeling ashamed, replied, "I know you are right. You should treat me this way. But believe me, I'm not at fault. We roosters are not liars. If we were, God's grace would not have come upon us, and we would not have this sweet voice to alert Muslims during prayer. It is strange for me too. Whenever I mention a name, their master sells them, but dear friend, tomorrow you will surely get your wish and eat your fill." The dog said, "I suppose it's the turn of the maid and the master will sell her too." The rooster answered, "No, there will be no more buying and selling." The dog asked in surprise, "How so?" The rooster said, "This time it is the master's turn. Tomorrow he will die, and you dogs will receive plenty of food for several days." The young man was horrified upon hearing this. He ran quickly to Moses, fell at his feet, and cried, "Oh, Moses, help me!" Moses asked, "What has happened?" The young man recounted the entire story. Moses replied, "Well, you have become quite skilled at this. You might as well sell yourself. I warned you from the beginning that this pursuit was dangerous for you. But you did not listen and insisted that learning the language of animals would lead you to wisdom and bring you closer to God. What became of all your claims? You have not only failed to learn from your experiences, but you have also committed sins. Every misfortune that befell you was a burden you imposed on the innocent. The horse, mule, and servant were your calamity wards. Their deaths kept misfortune away from you as long as you owned them but you. The young man insisted on being saved from death. Moses said, "There is nothing to be done against divine decree. I can only pray for you that God forgives your sins and takes you from this world in faith." Thus Moses prayed, "O God, forgive his sins and take him from this world in faith." O God, you are witness that I told him that knowing hidden secrets is not within his ability, but he did not listen and fell into sin. I ask you to forgive him. In the end, it is known that only those who can hold their tongues deserve to know what lies beyond.